What's up, world? Welcome to a new episode of the BrandonJaneauShow. As you know, I am Brandon Janeau, and like always, on all podcast platforms everywhere, it is the Brandon Janeau Show. Social media platforms like Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook, X, Brandon Janeau Show. Well, not on X, but I'm gonna try to go figure out how the fuck can I do that. But yeah, but I'm also on X. It's BJaneau31. I think on X, Twitter. And YouTube channel, Brandon Janeau Show, man. I hope you guys enjoy this episode. This is life in times with music, the artist breakdown, man. I haven't done one of these in a minute, and it's gonna be a while, man. So let's get into it, man. Um, and tonight's artist I'm doing uh this episode on is a defining figure in the hip hop culture, man. 50 years of hip hop. When you talk about Southern rappers, man, you cannot sit here and act like you cannot bring this man up. He's one of the greatest to ever do it, man. He's more now talked about as more of an actor than he is a musician. But early 2000s, man, there was nobody bigger or better than the one, the only Ludacris, man. Ludacris was one of the greatest to ever do it in the South, man. Southern hospitality, all of the great music this man has done, man. And like I said, Luda started early 2000s, man, as a rapper, man. When he dropped back for the first time, his first album, classic body of work. Um, you had what roll out. Like you had some shit on there. Southern hospitality, like I said, produced by Pharrell, the Neptunes. Um, so many classic songs on that first project, man. That body of work. He actually at that time span when he became such a hot commodity, man. Him and Jermaine Dupri dropped one of the greatest city anthems of all time. Welcome to Atlanta, where the players play and we ride on them things like every day. Like yo, Luda killed that shit, bro. Um, Luda was everywhere, man. Got signed to DT, Def Jam South was the first signing of that label, which by the way was, the president of that label was Scarface. You know what I'm saying? So, Luda became one of the best rappers in the game when he started off, man. One of the guys you could not ignore, um, which goes into his second album, which so a lot of people probably was his most critically acclaimed album, which is Chicken and Beer. One of the greats albums of you know his career. Took, like I said, a lot of great songs on that project as well, which brought into the great the great iconic song "Move, Bitch, Get Out the Way." Like a lot of great songs, a lot of amazing music on that second album. Chicken and Beer pretty much launched Luda, I think, into another stratosphere. To be honest with you, it really made him into another legendary name in the game. You had to pay attention to him. You had to fuck with him. Which goes into his third album, which was the Red Light District. Another classic body of work. Number one spot. So many classic songs on that one. Luda became such a commodity, man. But then he started going into the acting world. I think he started. That's when he really got the chance to be in Too Fast, Too Furious, which is why he's now in the Fast and the Furious franchise. Became an actor, really took into that, man. One of the greatest movies of the early 2000s to me is, of course, Hustle and Flow, which he was in, you know, and then Crash. He was in the literally an Oscar award winning movie, Crash, and the man became such an actor, man. But he was still in the rap world doing his thing with DTP, Disturbing the Peace, his label. And not only that, but you also had him, had him in the, I would say enthralled into beefs, but he had some noticeable beefs, particularly him and Ti. Now, when Ti started popping, like I said, Luda was already on the scenes, killing it. Ti came out, became the guy. And you know, when them two started beefing, I talked about it in the Ti episode. I did his all this breakdown. Um, when they started beefing because of the Young Buck, they were beefing already in Atlanta. But then when you hear Young Buck's stump off of the Cashville, Strata Cashville album, and you hear Luda's verse at the end, yeah, that was fucked up, man. Luda kind of like, if this back in the day, he probably would have. Yo, if this is back in the day, career ender. Like it was like, well, it was kind of back in the day, but if it was like now, it would be like a career ender. Like it'd be so over, it'd be overly pressed, it'd be overly talked about, man. It'd be like back to back. It'd be like a back to back. Like it'd be like, yo, like the way that nigga talked about, oh my god, so pimping be easy, quit catching feelings, cause you worth a couple hundred grand in, I'm worth millions. Nobody think about you, plus your beef ain't legit. So please stay off the TIP of my dick. I was like, oh my god, bro. Yeah, man, that shit was different. That shit was different, man. Uh, but Ludo's that dude, man. Ludo always been that dude at that time, man. Like I said, his acting career stirred him into another lanes. But when he released Therapy, that body of work, man, that was the album that I think I really, really, really became a Luda fan. He got so many classics on that body of work, man. Release Therapy was such a fucking classic, man. Grew Up to Screw Up with Jeezy. Tell It Like It Is, Miles to Feed, um, Runaway Love with him and Mary J. Blige. I never liked Moneymaker. You know, Shake Your Moneymaker. Like, I hated that fucking song. I still to this day. That is literally, I'm gonna be honest, like that might be the worst beat I ever heard of Neptunes make. Like that was a terrible fucking song. I hated that song. I still do. I still hate that song. Like I think that song is god awful. Like, like I'm like, I don't know why this is a fucking hit. I have no idea why that was a hit. I literally do not know why that was a hit. I can't explain it. Maybe because it was for real. Maybe it was the Neptunes. Maybe it was just time for Luda to get that hit. But I didn't understand that fucking song. I swear to God, like that money make. I hated that fucking song. The moment I heard it, I didn't like it. I still don't fucking like that song. Still don't like it. Um, but he had a couple songs on that album, like War with God is probably like the best fucking song, out. Um, ever that Luda probably ever done, man. War with God. But she also talks about Ti on that one. Yeah, man. That album is dope. One of my favorite Ludacris albums, and actually will be one of the albums that I will be doing for Ludacris. I will be doing a debate with that album and his other album that came out, which is the album that I actually really did buy. Well, didn't buy it, but I got from Luda, which was Theater of the Mind, which I thought was a more advanced, more subdued Luda, but what one more drink with him and T Pain and MVP with DJ Premier, him, rapping like I'm the first Southern rapper on a primo beat. And then Last of a Dying Breed with him and Lil Wayne and I Do It for Hip Hop with him and Hove and Nas. Like that shit was, and at that time that was when Hove and Nas was starting to collaborate. So to get them two on that project was crazy, man. Uh, Do the Right Thing with him and Common and Spike Lee, and then you had Let's Stay Together, on that project, man. Yeah, like that album is so dope, man. Call Up the Homies with Game and Willie Narpo. Like Call Up the Homies, it's about to go down. Yeah, Call Up the Homies, it's about to go down. Which goes into one of his last real bodies of work, which was Battle of the Sexes. And then when you actually, if you watched his behind the music, when they used to do behind the music, he actually had one, and he actually explained how Battle of the Sexes actually became. It was supposed to be a joint album with him and his female artist, and she left and went, I think, and signed T Pain. I think she signed with T Pain, and she left the label and signed with T Pain. So he had to redo the whole album, which created one of his biggest singles of his career. Also, which is My Chick Bad, which introduced a lot of people to Nicki Minaj at that time. A lot of people probably didn't know who Nicki was like that, and then that song came out and she was everywhere. But he got a couple songs on that project that is very fucking dope. All in all, Luda also dropped a couple other albums since then, but his catalog is iconic. If you actually go look at it, because I'm about to do his top 10, my favorite top 10 songs of Luda. You think about it, Splash, Waterfalls, and all of his songs. Like I said, Move, Bitch, Get Out the Way, and then Number One Spot. And he's got so many classics. Is damn near shocking. Like, like he's got so many fucking classics. It's damn near shocking, man. His albums are iconic. Like I said, I will be doing a debate of Release Therapy and Theater of the Mind that will be going up against each other, and then the winner of that album, no, that debate will actually get a the winner of that debate will actually get its own album breakdown. So yeah, I'm not done with Luda just yet, but man, he's do it all, man. Luda has definitely, like I said, the 50 years of hip hop. There's been when you talk about the South, you cannot leave out Ludacris, man. You cannot talk about the South Atlanta hip hop scene, early 2000s, without talking about Ludacris. Like I said, I get it, the Fast and the Furious shit and all that, but the man is one of the greatest rappers to ever do it, man. And I think for what he has become in his career, it's pretty fucking amazing to see it like that. So I'm proud of the man. Ludacris, one of the greatest rappers. I grew up on Luda, and if it wasn't for Luda, man, I probably wouldn't, you know, love Atlanta rap like I do. Like Luda was the first person. Outkast, Luda, they were like the first ones I really just grew up on and fucked with. So yeah, till then, man. Like I said, go listen to Luda. This has been the artist breakdown. Ludacris. Peace.